Before this video starts, please drop a like and subscribe, as 91.3% of you watching are not subscribed. Now, with that out of the way, here's the video some of you have been asking for. My load order for Fallout 4. Kind of. Obviously, there's no way I can review every single mod, but I decided to sum up a few of my favorites in this video. I will link each mod I'm currently using in the description if you're interested. It has changed a lot over the months, as I don't keep mods for that long since I'm constantly trying new things. In that case, if there was something shown in another video and it isn't linked here, then I probably removed it. Some of these recently came out, while others I've had in my load order since around 2018. Regardless, Fallout 4's 5th birthday was only just a little while ago, and I'm hoping this pays as a tribute to all the fun this game has given me. We're kicking it off with probably my favorite AR-styled gun to date, the MK18. This gun is packing a serious amount of content all in one. This is by far the most customizable weapon I have seen, and the number of endorsements reflects on that. Starting off, you, as the player, can choose how you get the gun. You can opt for the quest, which starts at level 25, or you can go with normal, which skips the quest, and lets you choose crafting options if you want it to be in the leveled list, and a few other things. Your final option is the same as normal, except you also get the gun put in your inventory, which is the cheating route. Following the quest, Operator's Best Friend, you will be directed to the Glowing Sea. The nearest fast travel location is the Sentinel site. Upon arrival, you will have to run to the left until you come across a bunker hidden away among the rocks. You will discover by the amount of skeletons wearing army uniforms that this was a secret military base that did not survive the bombs. Once you kill 1,000,000 rad roaches, you will then have your gun. I thought this was a fun little gimmick to add to a gun mod. It really makes you feel like you earned it that way, rather than just having it for free, which to some extent I feel can plague a lot of mods that are similar to this. The versatility of this gun means you can customize it to fit your way of approaching combat. On top of that, there's also a secret weapon you can only obtain through crafting called the Punisher, which is the mod author's custom unique version of the gun. Even though this just came out, I couldn't help but include it on this list. Up next, we're taking a look at Better Settlers. This is a mod that I once longed for when playing on the PlayStation. It made zero sense that, first and foremost, you would get duplicates of the exact same settler, either in the same settlement or across multiple settlements. I also despised how there was a real lack of variation in clothing and physical appearance. My biggest crutch was that, surprisingly enough, your settlers can't die. So you could have them running around unarmed and they'd still win against any settlement attack. It would take a lot longer, sure, but it makes zero sense logically. This mod aims to fix all of those issues and is essential even if you aren't the biggest settlement builder. It will add an extra layer of things to do in the game, and one of those things is making sure your settlement is properly equipped and armed. Still, this won't fix the issues of enemies spawning or somehow teleporting through your walls, which was another issue that made building walls around your area pretty much pointless. Overall, this mod will always have a special place in my heart because I spent a lot of days after school just heading back to Sanctuary and just building it up for hours. And now I feel like that's a perfect segue for this next mod, called Repaired Sanctuary Roofs. The title says it all, and confronts something that always bugged me. Sanctuary isn't looking too hot when you revisit it over 200 years later. I understand that in 200 years, the houses of this neighborhood have faced a lot of weathering. However, it seems like when Preston and the gang show up, they don't do too much at all about the roof problem with every one of the houses. There are several gaping holes, and rain easily comes through. Never mind all of the holes and windows open around the walls. This aims to fix that without making it look brand new. It instead gives it the look that it is worn but is still very livable. This keeps all of your stuff from getting soaked when it rains and just makes it feel like Codsworth at least tried to keep up the neighborhood. Or, at the very least, the settlers themselves did something to make their quality of life just a smidge better. This mod pairs well with Paint That House, which gives the interior a more whiter look without being completely squeaky clean. Rather a nice middle-of-the-road texture. With that out of the way, this mod isn't necessarily a bug fixer or something Bethesda could have changed on their own, but rather an achievement enabler mod. Now, this can be considered cheating, and most people that want the achievements simply have to turn all all of their mods off and play the vanilla game through to completion. But for those of us who may have done so on console and then moved to PC, you don't really feel like doing it all over again just for the sake of getting trophies. The mods, and I'm sure this is something a lot of people can admit to, is one of the sole reasons why players keep coming back year after year. This sense of replayability is brought on by the fact that mods make it somewhat of a survival sandbox. I myself always wanted to get the achievements for the game, but was too stubborn to go turn all of my mods off just to do so. So for anyone else out there with the same mindset, this is your one-way fix. This does, as a side note, requires the Fallout script extender, so just make sure you have that installed. I have also noticed recently that people are complaining about this not working anymore with the new update, so you might want to try an alternative, which requires manually adding the files to your root folder. Have you ever dreamed of killing somebody with an exploding teddy bear? Well, my friend, it's now possible with the Grenade expansion pack. This is a mod that I could not get enough of. I always thought that the grenades and mines of Fallout 4 were a little on the lacking side. Don't get me wrong, there were quite a few to choose from, but some of them didn't pack that punch that made it satisfying when something blew up. Now, with this addition to the explosives, you have access to a very creative arsenal. There are exactly 40 craftable grenades. From throwing an overclocked fusion core to paralyzing gas, there's a lot at your disposal. There's even throwing darts, turrets, and knives. You can throw several dud variants of the vanilla explosives which don't explode on impact and take some kind of physical damage for it to explode. There's also an alarm clock that you can place down which will lure enemies to it. For example, you can set down either a disguised mine or a dud grenade and then either shoot it when someone gets too close, or if it's a mine, wait and then watch the fireworks. Next up, we're taking a look at an assault rifle that hails from Switzerland. This is one that, if you haven't noticed by the recent gameplay footage, is a gun that I have used a lot. Not for any particular reason, nor is it this cataclysmic diamond in the rough. Bruh. But it is a gun that I always kept around in my game and have heavily enjoyed using. So I'm hoping that the least I can do for it is give the mod author some exposure for giving me a fun experience. It has several sights, magazines, barrel sizes, front end attachments like suppressors and muzzle brakes. Pretty much everything you'd expect out of a simple assault rifle. I just love this gun a lot since it's always been a staple of a few of my playthroughs, and I'm very happy to share it with you. I believe that Fallout 4's soundtrack was stunning and made the dullest moments feel alive. I would have said that Faded Glory would be a great replacer, but since I've already reviewed that in another video, which you should check out, I feel the next best soundtrack is from Stalker. This mod implements the soundtrack right into the game and sounds great as they share the same apocalyptic theme. Here are a few examples. Overall, the Stalker soundtrack has held up extremely well, and I highly recommend it, especially if you're trying to make it more ominous. Do you want to kill shit from far away? Wouldn't it be awesome if you had a 50 caliber sniper rifle that happened to have Preston Garvey's photograph on the scope?
Got word of a settlement that needs our help.
Would you like to blow a raider's skull out with a satisfying pullback of the bolt after unloading a magazine? Well, then I got something that does exactly that. The XM2010 is an amazingly designed weapon, made by the same person who brought us mods like QMW and Kill Tips and Hits that I reviewed in another video. Don't get me wrong, there is a vast majority of modern sniper rifles on the Nexus, and it's fairly easy to just choose one and be on your way. However, this sniper has so many cool ways to customize it. There are a vast majority of scopes, and surprisingly red dot sights as well. There's a feature to mount a reflex sight on the side with your scope to switch back and forth between long and short range, but all this time I can never figure out how to use that feature. You can obtain this by crafting it at a chemistry station, and from there you can design it to your liking. There is an array of purely cosmetic touches as well. There are skins and wraps that you can also combine for unique looks. As simple as it is, it's a very fun mod, and would be especially helpful if you're looking to do a sniper build. The thermal scope is also a nice touch that I haven't come across before with any other gun mod. Also, if you want, you can also craft the gun as a decoration piece to be slung across your back. Now it's time for our special mention. This is a mod that I've been dying to hold off on until the very end, and now that you've made it, it's time.
Hey, Takahashi.
Baba Booey,
What are you saying?
Baba Booey,
What are you saying?
Baba Booey,
Tell me a joke.
Baba Booey,
What are you saying?
Baba Booey,
Yes?
Baba Booey.
No thanks. Hey, Takahashi.
Baba Booey,
What are you saying?
Baba Booey,
Tell me a joke.
Baba Booey.
Yes.